Howdy there, folks. I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs, and this is the live stream I mentioned earlier. We're going to have tons of cool stuff going on. Giveaways, we're going to talk tech, answer questions, do the norm. Let's get going. We're going to start off by announcing the winner of the Just Mobile AluPen Pro. There were 1,375 valid entries, 1,375 entries. It is amazing that there were that many. And believe it or not, the winner was actually someone who had previously won one of my giveaways. So rather than give him the prize, I decided to re-scramble all the names. And we have a winner. And that winner, and I verified that they are subscribed, so they're good to go. The winner is Laxman7055, Laxman 7055. So if you're them, YouTube PM me through that account. You must use that account, and don't try doing like Iaxman or Laxman S5. I know your tricks, people. You will not fool me into sending you giveaway prizes unfairly. And there you go. So if you're Laxman, lacrosse is neat, first of all. Second of all, send me a PM, and I'll get your AluPen Pro out as soon as I can. For the rest of you, let's do a giveaway right now. I'm still spinning this vinyl, by the way. I gotta stop that. It's gonna run off the end. Okay, we should be good now. Okie doke, we're good. All right. So, let's do a giveaway right now of one of these. These are from Max Skins, or Max Slaps. They're a little company in California, and these are actually pretty nice skins. Some of the designs I don't care for, like this is like a Marlboro Macklerboro. I don't love that one, but hey, you know, that's neat. So what we're going to do is for the giveaway, what you need to do is, how am I going to do this? I was going to kind of organize this before the show started, and then I may have forgotten. Because I want to do it fairly, but at the same time, this form thing, this is going to be tough. So we're not going to do a form. What you're going to do is you are going to type a comment. Just whatever, right? And I am going to hold my mouse down, and whomever I land on is who wins the prize. So start typing. I'll close my eyes, and Garrison Brown is the winner. Garrison Brown wins the first Max Lap, which is a Macklerboro Max Lap. So Garrison, you need to private message me here on Vocal, and then we can arrange that. So, neato, right? So that was the first prize. Congratulations to Garrison. And we're ready to go on with the next one. Okay, you guys, you don't need to keep doing that. Stop it. There's already a winner. You calm down. You calm down. We'll find a better way for the Hi-Fi Man EF2A, because I want to make that super fair for everyone. But let's take the first question. If you want to ask a question, you can submit one through the Submit a Question button that's on your right-hand side. I already have 51 questions in queue, so I'm not going to get to all of them, but I'm going to try, and we'll try and figure this out. Is it uncomfortable to wear the Audio-Technica AT-HM50, which are a pair of headphones, with glasses? And if so, do you have any other recommendations? They're one of the better ones, but yes, they can be uncomfortable. It really depends on your frame size. If they're thick like mine, that's going to be uncomfortable. If you have a wireframe, it won't be such of a bother. However, there are better headphones for glasses. One that really stands out to me when I'm wearing these headphones is the Denon line. Like the Denon D2000, they have a really soft ear cups, and they have a very flexy headband. So the D2000 are a couple dollars more than the M50s, but those feel great on the head. So there you go. What headphones would you recommend for under $60 US or 45 euro? I have a website dedicated to this question. It is headphonemecca.com. So many headphone questions. And people are like, well, do you still think those are good? Yes, if it's on the website, I think it's a really good pair of headphone, a really good headphone pair. I would recommend the Superlux 668B in your case. It's a really, really amazing can. It looks kind of cheesy, but it sounds awesome. And everyone who puts them on their ears are like, wait, this is only 60 bucks. They sound really good. And I actually have a review on those coming very soon. So hang tight on that. But, I mean, you can buy them, and without my review, you'll be very, very happy. So, again, what would be a good pair of headphones for $300? HeadphoneMecca.com. What DSLR is better for a beginning tech reviewer? With 720p and external microphone, T2i and T3i are too expensive. You could always go with a T1i. You know, those are... You know, what you can also find, and it seems kind of crazy, but it's a good deal, is if you get a T2i that's used, you can get them for $200, $250 less than even the refurb price. You can buy them for $400 with the kit lens. So that's a really good deal for a camera like a T2i or a T3i. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's a good deal. And the truth behind DSLRs is I generally do not recommend them for technology reviewers on YouTube. While you can get excellent video out of a DSLR, you're going to have to do it in more of a fashion like TLD Today or Matt's Macintosh, because you have to keep in mind there's no autofocus. So you're going to have to be manually spinning that ring when you move stuff an inch forward. And if you have a wide angle lens, or if you have a lens with a deeper aperture, it won't matter so much. But if you have your kit lens, you move 2 to 3 inches and you know, everything's going to be completely out of focus. That's why even though I had my DSLR for the longest of times, I didn't use it on YouTube. I did for a couple of months, and while the video quality was really nice, while it was really easy to set up, while it worked in low light circumstances because of that wide aperture, it just wasn't practical for me in the long run. If you're doing this really nice cinematic kind of video, like again TLD Today, Matt's Macintosh, then it's going to be fine because you can control that with voiceover. And you know, but if you're shooting in one take or in a couple takes like I do, a video camera, a camcorder is going to be much better suited. So there you go. I'm buying a Roku P, but I'm not an audiophile. Is it worth it, or should I stay with my iPhone? I actually answered this question before the stream began, but it's completely and entirely dependent on your headphones. And the headphones, I think, are a more important factor than the actual player. Alex said that he had Z-Port headphones, which I reviewed, the Z-Port 710. And those headphones do not need an amplifier like the Roku P. They would benefit ever so slightly, but not enough to go out and spend $190 on a player. If you have over-ear headphones that are less conservative, that consume a little bit more power, and you might consider looking at the ohm rating for the electrical resistance on those, you'd want to go with it. Even with conservative and really efficient over-ear headphones like the ATH M50, like the SRH 840, you would still benefit from this little amplifier, but you're not going to notice it as much unless you have a heavier duty over-the-ear style headphone or a heavier duty in-ear monitor. It is noticeable, but it's not $200 noticeable. So in that case, you'll be just fine and well suited with your iPhone. And if that doesn't seem like quite enough, rather than jumping straight to the Roku P, get a cheap portable amplifier like the Pheo E7, which is like $20 on Amazon. And these are great for really efficient headphones that just need a little bit more. And so I recommend something like this rather than a full-fledged player, because you have those smaller earphones. How do I get a better battery life out of my iPhone 4S? You don't use it, or you leave it plugged in all day. No, there's certain things you can do to help conserve battery. The first being turning off radios that you're not using. If you're not using Bluetooth, turn it off. If you're not using Wi-Fi, turn it off. If you're not using 3G even, toggle it to Edge. There are a lot of ways you can turn these off, and those will save a massive amount of power. The other thing is notifications and fetching. If your email client is checking every 15 minutes for new email, your battery's going to run out a lot faster than if you say manually check it when I say check my email, which will happen when you open the email app. Or you can say don't send me notifications, word friends. Don't send me notifications. Draw something, because you're killing my battery. And then you'll have to open the apps. You'll have to remember to take care of that. But the amount of battery you save will be exponential. And you can easily get a full heavy day's use out of an iPhone 4S if you set your toggles correctly. So there you go. Do you jailbreak, says Harmon. Yes, I do, but not currently. I'm on 5.1, and as such, I'm not jailbroken. And, I have this love-hate relationship with jailbreaking. Jailbreaking is very, very beneficial in certain fields. You're able to do quite a bit more with jailbreaking. You can have toggles on the screen. You can sort notifications in Notification Center. You can tweet from Notification Center. You can turn Wi-Fi off right from the lock screen. There's so many things you can do with jailbreaking that is so cool. However, there is a toll on both the battery life and the longevity of the device. When I had jailbroken on 5.0.1, I said this is the first jailbreak I feel that is not impeding on the legacy or the stability of the OS. Usually when you jailbreak, things get slow and it gets laggy, and I felt like with 5.0.1, it had stopped. There was no problems, or there were very little problems. Whereas before, after a couple weeks, you'd even notice your phone to really, really slow down. But after 2 months of having a jailbroken device, installing and uninstalling packages, just like a computer, if you have a bunch of stray files and phantom files, it's going to slow stuff down. And the stability just takes like a tank. So yeah, you jailbreak, if you're on a real build of iOS, it's going to stay like pretty stable all the way throughout. But if you jailbreak, you're going to slowly start seeing things degrade. Now, if you're smart about your jailbreak and you only install a couple of things, you're going to be fine. But if you're installing stuff and uninstalling stuff and trying this and doing that and adding sources, it's going to become a real bother, and you're going to have to restore your device to get it back to stability. So it just depends. If you're someone who likes tinkering with stuff and doesn't mind a bit of inconvenience for the advantages jailbreaking brings, then it's great. But if you're someone who's like, well, I don't really want to restore it every month, I don't really want it to reboot every couple days, I just want it to work, then jailbreaking isn't for you. So there you go. How's the Fujifilm X10? Is it worth the money? I'm doing a review on this, and that will come out a week from today, Friday. It's sitting over there. I actually threw away my battery charger like a buffoon, and so I had to order a new one on Amazon, but it was a whopping $3.17 with free shipping. Thank you, Amazon Prime. Anyway, yeah, that was sweet. But there you go. So that was the problem with that. But yes, a review is coming. It's a really awesome camera. There are some downsides, and some downsides that are kind of drastic, but overall, I really like it. Again, headphonemecca.com. Have you ever had someone famous watching your live stream or subscribe to your channel? It depends what you mean by famous. Famous in the tech community? Kinda. I know John for Lakers was subscribed to me for a while. I don't know if he still is. And I know It's Me Morpheus was subscribed to me for a while. I don't know if he still is. But anyway, not really. Not really. TLD today is subscribed, but he's not really famous. Like, John is famous. Like, don't get me wrong. 100K subscribers, that's awesome. But when compared to, like, Mark, or when compared to John, Jonathan TLD today is still like a little guy. But no, he hit 100,000 subscribers. Blows my mind. He deserves every one of them. He's a great YouTuber. But yeah, John for Lakers and I are pretty good Twitter buddies. What camcorder do you recommend with 720p and an external mic input under $500? Wow, there is some serious spam. You guys get out of here. The Canon Vixia HF 200. Well, there you go. A rabbit game. That's an amazing camera. Really, really good camera. And you can get it for relatively cheap. Rather than getting a camera new, I cannot emphasize this enough, rather than getting something new and spending a tons of dough on it, what you can do is buy a used camcorder on eBay or on Craigslist. Don't get raped, but on Craigslist. And you can save a lot of money. I bought my HF10 from eBay for, back then, $700 when it was a $1,300 camcorder. So you can get a really, really good discount on these used cameras that are in really good shape. Now, yeah, you're taking a risk. What if you get a lemon? Well, that sucks. But generally speaking, just buy used. And I know some people are like, oh, I refuse to have something used. If someone else touched it, that is disgusting. And to you, I say, grow up. Anywho. And for those of you shopping on Craigslist, don't get raped. I would show you, but you might be blinded by the curvature of my apertures. The best DAC for under $60 is kind of an oxymoron. In order to get really, really good equipment in terms of audio, especially digital to analog converters, you need to spend a little bit more. But yes, Austin, I was going to recommend that as well. The head streamer is quite good. And what's the price on that? That's 70. That's 70, isn't it? 75? I don't remember anymore. I think it was that at one point. But the head streamer. Head streamer? Yeah, you can find it on sale for under $60. I think retail is like 75 or 80 though. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. You just have to look around. And again, consider buying used. Go to HeadFi. If you go to headfi.org, there are some awesome sales under the classifieds. They're like really some really good deals. So, anywho, this is a creepy question. What kind of shampoo do you use, and when can we expect a shampoo review comparison? I use Jack's. It's good stuff. It's kind of creepy, but it's good. Really good shampoo and conditioner. You need conditioner. It's a very concise combo. It's kind of expensive. Well, it's not expensive. You have to buy it at like a salon. You can't get it at like Walmart or anything. A bottle this big is about $20. So like it lasts a while, but it's more expensive than like the big old Costco, like these big for like $1.50. So I'm not going to review my shampoo, but the secret to my hair is it's a magnificent one. Going with AT&T, what's the best phone they have? You know, I'm going to sound like a biased pig when I say this, but it's the iPhone. It's the iPhone. And I really like other phones, like the Lumia 900. That looks sweet. The Galaxy Note, that's a sweet phone. But the iPhone is just king, and there's a reason. But anyway, yeah, I would recommend the iPhone. The best headphone amplifier. This is like asking, what's the best car? Well, it depends on what you want to spend. So it depends on your price point, and there is a different kind of soundstage for everyone. It's different. It's like saying, what's the best car? Well, it depends. If you're going to be pulling a boat, a Ferrari is not the best car. Or if you're trying to go 150 miles an hour in 7 seconds, a Ford 150 probably isn't the best car. So there's a different sound signature for everyone that is customized to each individual. And you just have to look around and do the research. There's a lot of great reviews on forums and websites like headfi.org. Headphonia.com is an amazing one. Mike does a great job there. Austin, you can go to audioexcursions.com. It's a great place. That's bookmarked on my browser. I mean, there's just tons of great websites with great content. Interfidelity, Tile does a great job. I mean, there's so many websites that have killer stuff that you can look up. And it's really like buying a car. There's no right answer. It's custom to everyone. So, would you consider coming back to YouTube when you return from Bolivia? Yeah, of course I'd consider it. In fact, I plan to. Unless something really weird goes down, you know, I don't plan not coming back. But we'll see. Maybe YouTube will be like a desert in 2 years. Maybe no one will use it. They're doing some weird things. This whole partnership debacle, I don't care too much about it, but there's a lot of people that are really bent out of shape. And it's confusing. I don't really understand their aspect behind it. Basically, anyone can monetize a video now, or up to 10. So I could go out, make a video, and boom, I'm ready to go. I've made this video. It has 140 views on it. I can monetize it, which you usually can't do until you have many, many thousands of views. But I feel like there's going to be some problems with this that I think YouTube's going to come across. What happens if I find a video that is not mine that I re-upload? And people do this to my videos all of the time. What if someone finds a video and re-uploads it, and then they enable it, AdSense it? That video gets a couple thousand views and they make $80 on that video or something like that. Let's just say that happened. What if YouTube takes 6 months to figure out, wait a minute, that's not this guy's video, but too late, you've already paid him $80. See how that works? There's going to be conflictions in this. Everyone gets to monetize because people are careless and people will abuse this opportunity that YouTube has bestowed. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out, but obviously I won't be a part of it. I'll be missing it, which is a shame. But anyway, there you have it. Rumor has it. Ooh, ooh. They check this. Yeah, they think they do, but they really don't. If you uploaded a video that YouTube didn't catch, wasn't yours, like, yeah, if you uploaded the most popular Rihanna song, YouTube's automatic are going to go bam. But if it's a local band that you recorded and you don't have permission to use that music, but you're uploading it anyway, and you've already hit $100 and it takes them to get famous for the filters to catch it. See, so there's holes and inconsistencies in this theory. But anyway, a friend wants an Asus Transformer Prime. Should they buy it, or should they buy the iPad 3? I cannot even tell you how many times, how deeply I believe that you should get an iPad. The smartphone market is diverse, and there are a lot of different great phones. Heck, I'm using the Galaxy Note right now. This is an Android phone. There are so many different amazing phones on the market, but with tablets, I feel like you're going astray. And really the only answer is the iPad. The marketplace is on the iPad. The stability is on the iPad. The legacy is on the iPad. The backend is on the iPad. And even though the Transformer Prime is an absolutely amazing device from a hardware standpoint, it doesn't matter if there's no apps. It doesn't matter if the games suck. It doesn't matter if it's backed by an operating system wherein you'll be out of date in 2 weeks. I really, really like the ideas behind Android, but I think it's more well-suited as a smartphone platform than it is a tablet platform. So, anyway, I would assign a screener, but literally the chat room is beyond disaster. No one can repair the damage that's going on in there. Oh man. And if you ask to be screener, that is a 100% guarantee that you will not be screener. So just for future reference. Hey Quinn, can you pop this picture question next up to your face so I can take a picture, so I can be cool? You better hurry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hopefully you made it. Will you be making YouTube videos again once you come? Well, I just answered this. Maybe. I am very diverse when it comes to music. I love all sorts of music. Classical, jazz, rock. I even like some rap, believe it or not. But one genre, the only genre I cannot stand, is country. Oh, it's terrible. It's simply awful. And so, no. What's her popular one right now? I don't know what it's called. But anyway, it was on the radio, and Eyes Open. Yeah, that one. The Hunger Games one. Yeah. It was playing on the radio, and I was like, wow, this is like almost not terrible. But it is still terrible. So I hate her old stuff. And people think she's super hot. I don't see it. Maybe it's just because I have exquisite taste, but I don't see it in her. She has weird teeth. All right, anyway. How big is the font on the Galaxy Note? Do you think it would work for a visually impaired person? Well, that's the great thing about Android. This is asked by Aaron. who's a really, really good guy. He does a stellar podcast, Signal to Noise. Aaron is visually impaired, and he uses his iPhone without looking at it, as far as I know, and that's freaking sweet. One thing about Android that I do know is I should say one thing about iOS is the support for the visually impaired is fantastic. Accessibility options in iOS are very, very good. People that are totally blind, cannot see a single thing, can use an iPhone like you wouldn't believe. And people are like, well, how can you use it? There's no buttons. It's all voice driven. It's all touch driven. It's really, really amazing to see a blind person just typing away on an iPhone like nobody's business. So that's pretty sweet. But I know in Android that kind of accessibility just simply isn't there. Now, as for the font on the Galaxy Note, yes, you can make it massive. You can make it as big as you want. I have it on the smallest setting, so it's kind of like a whole book on a little 5-inch screen, but 5.3-inch screen rather. But you can totally make the text huge for people who are visually impaired. So if that's your question, there you go. When will Siri locations be working in the UK? I can't answer that, and nobody on planet Earth, other than the people inside Apple who won't answer it, can answer it. So I don't know. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But let me run this by you guys, and I want to see if you guys agree or disagree. I feel like Siri is becoming seemingly less accurate. When I got it, I was like, holy cow, this thing is amazing. I can't even believe how well it works. And now I'm using it. I'm like, set an alarm for 7 a.m. And it's like, you already have an alarm for 6:20 a.m. I'm like, no, I said 7 a.m. And directions, I'm like, call the local restaurant, Sushi Groove. Doesn't work. Dictation, I think, has improved more than ever before. Dictation on the iPhone and even the iPad 3 blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's amazing. I froze there for a second. It's amazing. But for Siri, I feel like Siri is getting less good while dictation is getting more good. So I don't know about Siri. I'm still curious, especially since Apple didn't put it on the iPad 3, which seems like a perfectly suitable platform. I use this to set an alarm. Well, there's not even a clock app on this. You have to download a third-party alarm clock. Okay, that's one thing I don't get. Let me complain quickly. YouTube gives you like a bunch of crap apps on here no one uses, right? And then they don't give you the only 2 apps I do use. There's no weather app, there's no clock app, and there's no calculator. Like, what? No calculator? This is like, you could put like a TI-84 on here. No calculator. Blows my mind. But they give you, what's in this crapple folder? They give you contacts, don't use it. They give you maps, don't use it. I understand why you would use it if you're on 3G. They give you Game Center. Game Center. No one uses Game Center anyway. Oh, it's just bothersome. Very, very bothersome. Whatever happened to Game Center? That's like more of a failure than Ping. I was like supposed to revolutionize the way everything worked, and yeah. Everyone still uses OpenFaint. Game Center is an option, but OpenFaint is still the standard. I don't even remember the last time I opened Game Center. Once Upon a Never. It's been a long time. Ping is still way worse. iTunes Ping. Man, everyone remember that? That's great stuff. Although, I made a video back in 2010 when Ping came out, and I said Ping will be dead by 2012. So I was wrong. It's essentially dead. It's like still in the water, face down, drowning, but it's not dead. It's like semi-conscious. It's like, please save me. And Apple's like, no, we will let you die. That's what's happening. Apple's filled with a bunch of trolls. No one's nice to Ping. What did he ever do? All right, next giveaway. Oh. Mac. Get it? Like the lighter Bic. That's neat. So yeah, I'm going to give one of these away. Same system. Same system. You guys got the agenda. We're going to go boom, and then we're going to go boom, boom, boom. I don't really know what I'm saying here. Let's put a smile on one of your faces and give you a max slaps. These are actually kind of cool. They're a different skin than most of them. Most of them are 3M. This is like much nicer quality. But anyway. Bic. All right, start typing stuff. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click. Oh man, that just scrolled right by. Hold on. I'm doing this again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, I missed it. 5. Stop typing so fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Will Reed is the winner. Will Reed. All you got to do is send me a little message here on the vocal. If you go to my name in the viewer list, it will give you an option to private message me. So there you go. Will Reed. Congratulations, Will Reed. Okay. Now, what should we talk about next? Let's take a couple more questions. We only have 167 to answer, so we're going to blow through these in no time. I'm being facetious. I'm not going to get to all of them, and probably not most of them. Hey, Quinn is not a question. Thanks, though. Well, let's be honest here. If you're on a BlackBerry, everything is an upgrade. Doesn't even really matter what you get. You could get a Nokia 6820 from 1998, and that's an upgrade from a BlackBerry. I'm kidding. That is a great phone, though. That was my first cell phone. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. It wasn't my first phone. It was my third phone. But it was like my second because my first phone wasn't really mine. It was a family phone. So anyway, that's beside the point. It was an LG flip phone. It was the first phone on Verizon to have a color display. It was the big leagues. It was like a VX990 or something like that. There was no cameras on it. No touchscreen. No nothing. Buttons and a little tiny 1-inch color screen. Okay. On to the matter at hand. Skullcandy is a company that is interesting, especially lately. Up until now, they have created notoriously awful headphones. But recently, specifically with the Mix Masters, they have tried to create decent looking. Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. Some of the apps, some of the people in here. Oh my gosh, you too. Kick. Oh my, killing me. The Mix Masters are really quite good. They're overpriced, but they look really nice and they sound quite good. They honestly do. It pains me to say that. That's almost as painful as saying Beats by Dre are good. Luckily, that's not true, so I don't have to say that. But the Mix Masters are almost dead on. They're very, very good. You can find a lot better headphones for a lot less money. The Aviators, I don't like the Aviators. But the Mix Masters are, you can tell Skullcandy is actually trying to create a good sounding headphone. They still have a long ways to go. They're still not anywhere close to the competition. But they sound good. And that's, well, you know, as long as you sound good, the price doesn't really matter. And if Beats by Dre figured that out, I wouldn't hate him so bad. What are your opinions on Facebook buying Instagram? This was a bizarre acquisition, especially for the price. I would have loved to know what was going on back and forth at Instagram HQ. Part of me thinks that someone else was bidding on it. You don't just say, oh, hey, we're going to give you $1 billion. Someone else was involved. Someone else wanted Instagram too, and there was a bidding war. There has to be. It has to be. Unless the guys at Instagram are brilliant and they're like, well, you can give us $990 million and magical ponies, or you will give us $1 billion. Here's the thing. Instagram makes $0.00 per year. In fact, they lose money. They are a non-profitable business. they were running and they were doing so well because they were entirely VC funded. They were backed by venture capitalists, and boy, are they smiling right now. They sure got their return. $1 billion. It's a nice little cupcake there. But I'll be interested to see how Facebook makes it a viable platform, because right now it's not even a cash cow. It's losing money. Oh my gosh! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Oh, I can't kick you. You're scrolling by too fast. I really dislike Facebook as a company, and I hope they don't ruin Instagram. I like Instagram as it is. It's great. Please don't mess with it, Facebook. What's your favorite Cydia tweak? You know, you guys are going to laugh because it's nothing all that special. SB settings. I toggle Wi-Fi and all this stuff every day. And so I do it, you know, with SB settings. You pull down the little notification center. You're like, boom, no, boom. NC settings. I don't like that. I tried that. It was goofy feeling. It just didn't, I don't know. Plus, I like supporting SB settings because of the legacy, because they were around since the beginning. I'm not going to let the new kid on the block take my loyalty. So SB settings was great. People love IntelliScreen 10 or X, whatever. I don't like that. I don't want all of this information on my home screen. It's like, hey, let's see what's on my iPhone. Ah! It's like overwhelming. I don't like it. So I installed it, but I uninstalled it quickly and felt bad for paying for it because I didn't use it. All right. This is a lot of questions. Oh, no, it's just one. What's your favorite sport, and do you follow any YouTube sports channels? My favorite sport by far is, well, this is hard. My favorite sport to watch is basketball, specifically NCAA basketball. My favorite sport to play, but I also really love watching it, is golf. The PGA Tour events or the Masters, oh man, I was geeking out all of last weekend. I love watching golf, but love basketball. So NCAA is what I watch all the time. I'm like a big old fan during the season. But other stuff, I mean, NBA, I like the NBA, but I'm not a devout fan. NCAA football, I like a lot, but again, I'm not a devout fan. I hate NFL. There you go. And curling. That's also my favorite sport. Oh my. All right, anyway. So, there you go. Oh my gosh. John Doe is back. He is back, and he is not cool. Oh my. There are a lot of kicks that need to be happened, but honestly, this room is beyond management as far as I'm concerned. But Austin, if you wanna kill some people right here, you are more than happy to. More than welcome to. What is a good headphone or digital to analog converter for less than $100? The Pheo E7 does both. And although I don't think it's the best at it, it's relatively cheap, it's well built, and it is a DAC and an amp. So there you go. Is a Vixia HF 200 for $175 a good deal? I swear this is the last question. Yes, that's a very good deal. Buy it. It's a great camcorder. Do you think there will be a PS Vita Slim? It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Whether or not I think it'll be a successful mark. Here's the thing about the PS Vita. It's killing me, right? Because I love my Vita. It's an amazing platform. And I'm not even just saying that. Like, it's a phenomenal platform. It's really fast. It has a beautiful display. The games that are out right now, like Unit 13, Wipeout 2048, what's the other one? Uncharted. I really like the games. It's really fantastic. But the downside is, well, there's no titles. And when there's no titles on a platform, it's going to die on the vine. And even though this platform is amazing, even though I love the idea behind it, even though the games that are out that are fantastic, hi girls, it's just, there's no games, there's no success. It's as simple as that. And Sony's having a really, really hard time. Sony and Nintendo alike are having a really hard time getting titles to come to the platform. And not even just good titles, period. And so I'm worried. I feel like it's going to be the exact same story of the last PSP, but worse. Because now that we have this iDevice revolution, gaming has become seemingly less important on a single-use device. And of course gaming is better on the Vita than it is on the iPhone or even the iPad. But if you're not a hardcore gamer, which 99% of people who buy, gaming consoles are, then you don't need a Vita. Your iDevice will do just great. And so it's scary. I'm worried for Sony. But anyway, a good question. Not a question. Not a question. What are your thoughts about vinyl? It looks pretty killer. I love vinyl. It's very artificial. It's very warm. It's very exaggerated. It's not even close to the track. For accurate listening, you'd want to go digital. But I love the sibilance, and I love the very exaggerated bass that comes from a record. And so I'm really, really enjoying it. I have tons of records. I bought a lot more. I have about 30 now. And my collection is growing more and more each day, and I really like it. So anyway. What do you think of the BlackBerry Playbook for $199.99? Move the decimal place over 2 to the left, and now we're talking. $1.99? Oh, it's a good buy. It's a terrible tablet developed by a very quickly dying company. The hardware is awful. The interface is bad. It's bad. And even though I wanted to really like it, even though I wanted it to be good, it wasn't. And so it's going to die. And RIM is going to die too if they keep messing around like they are. RIM is like, we believe in Enterprise. Enterprise is going to save us. Guess what, guys? Enterprise hasn't worked for 3 years. The Enterprise is moving to the iPhone. The Enterprise is moving to Android. Not so much Android, but the iPhone. Enterprise is not a market. It's a feature. And, anyway. All right. Let's see. Not a question. Not a question. What is your monitor on top of? This is a great question. It is a Just Mobile. What's it called? It's Just Mobile. The same people who make the AluPen Pro. And this, which we're going to give away right now. It's called, oh my golly, the M Stand. No, is that right? M Table. It's the M Table. I really like it. It's a little bit expensive, but it is a really nice construction. It's full aluminum. Beautiful. I just fold my table in there. I fold my laptop in there, slide it in there, and I'm good to go. Laptop's out of the way. The fan's quiet because it's all folded up and shoved in the back. I really like it. Anyway, and it's one that I can't answer. Did you try the Shure SRH8 940s? And if so, how are they? I wanted to try these very badly, and I was this close to buying them on Amazon. Like, literally, it was in my cart, and I was like, do I hit submit? Do I not hit submit? And I decided to not go with that, and I bought the Beyerdynamic, or as I talked to the guy at CES, and he's like, well, from Beyerdynamic. So maybe it's Bayer. I say Bayer because that sounds cooler. Beyerdynamic, the DT990 Pro, the 600 ohm audiophile version. And I really love them. They are a bizarre pair of headphones. One of the weirdest pairs of headphones I've ever listened to, even with tons of burn-in. They have a really, really present, really thick bass that's really, really, I mean, it's a super bassy headphone. But there's also this really sibilant high end with crashes and that really amazing vocals. It's a very bizarre headphone. And I really like it, but it's weird. It's definitely the weirdest headphone I've listened to. Other than maybe the RHA, the one I reviewed the other day. What was that again? The S200? Was that right? That was a really weird headphone. It sounded like... Hold on. Let me try and... I want to... Hello. No, that's not going to work. I need like a piece of paper. Hello, I hope you like... That's what it sounded like. It was like a piece of paper was being held in between the thing. It was bad, man. That's why I gave it a Not Snazzy award. I say... This is kind of... I need to fix this. I keep saying a Not Snazzy award. That doesn't make any sense. It's not an award if it's not snazzy. A Not Snazzy demerit. A failure, I say. It's still an award. I guess so. All right, let's see. When are you going to be the president? Never. I would never want to be the president, and I think anyone who wants to be is a nutcase. What a large amount of responsibility, and what a huge likelihood that something goes wrong and everyone hates you. So yeah. This is a good question. What was the first product you got for review? It was a Richard Solo 1800 battery for the iPhone 3G. That was a long time ago, but I think they still sell it. It's a very interesting little battery, and I was amazed. When I started, I had very little subscribers. My very first video, which ironically has like 30,000 views, it's embarrassing that it has that many views, is my Bose IE2 review. Or it was my Bose IE1. It was the original in-ear. So I was a little ninth grader. I was 15 years old. I had braces, and so I talk like this. And my voice was actually lower than it is now, which is slightly embarrassing. But it was funny. I was terrible. And that's not to say that I'm any good now. But if you think I'm bad now, oh boy, you should have seen me 3 years ago. 3 years ago? 2008, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 3.5 years ago is when I started. Very bizarre. But when I began doing YouTube reviews, I only had about 80 subscribers, I think, when I got my first product from Richard Solo. So that was cool. But yeah, I mean, I had a pretty interesting beginning. I got to 100 subs pretty quickly. It took me maybe 3 or 4 days to get to 100 subscribers. So I didn't have the problems that many YouTubers experience today because I started so early. There were not 1,000 YouTube reviewers like there are now. There's well over 1,000 YouTube reviewers. But when I started, there were not a ton. I was amongst, I mean, there were the big guys like John for Lakers and Soldier Knows Best. But I mean, I started very early on. And so I had that window of opportunity where if you had 500 subs, you could get whatever you wanted because 500 subs may as well have been 1 million. That was a lot of subscribers. And now you can't even get like one of these with 500 subs. So it's a very different market. And I tell people all the time, and I genuinely believe this is true. If I had started right now, and everyone else was the same, there was Larry Greenberg, there was Uncle Tony 99, there was Detroit Borg, there was TLD Today, I would have never made it. I never would have been successful. And it's difficult now because you don't just have to put out content. You have to put out unique content, really great content with really high quality information as well as cinematography. And I don't think like I'd be able to, I wouldn't get up there. But I had the luxury of starting early before everyone else. I started before Detroit Borg. I started before TLD Today. I started before Matt's Macintosh. I started before Uncle Tony 99. I started before Larry Greenberg. I mean, I started before pretty much anyone who's at the same level I'm at now. I don't know if I started before Ty Moss. I feel like I did, but I'm not sure. Anyway. What USB mic do you recommend around $70? If you can find a used Yeti, that's a really great mic. Otherwise, an Audio-Technica AT2020 can be had for around that price range. Or you can never go wrong with the Blue Snowball, which you can find for like $30 on Amazon. But you'd be amazed at how good it sounds. The Snowball is very cheap. It's a very good microphone for very cheap. That is some delicious water. None. I would not prefer a Windows PC. No, this is where I get biased. And people are like, you're just a lousy bandwagoner Apple fan. I am an Apple fanboy, and I have been my whole life. I've never owned a PC. There's never been a PC in this household. I've been 100% Mac from day one. And so that's the environment that I use. That's why I'm so like deeply in love with Apple, is we were total Apple fans. I got my first computer at age 5. It was an iMac G3, a Bondi Blue G3. I will never forget, the amazingness that was behind that computer. And I've tried Windows, and I've tried Linux, I've tried Ubuntu and Fedora, and it just doesn't catch my fancy. There's nothing that's quite as smooth, quite as elegant, quite as stable, and quite as simplistic as OS X. And people are like, well, OS X is a toy. You can't do anything useful on a Mac. And no, that's not true. You can do tons of things on a Mac. I will say gaming on a Mac is kind of sucky. If you want to game like a nerd on a PC, you do it on a PC. But, just kidding. If you like gaming on a PC, that's great. I'm not a big gamer. I don't really like gaming. So when I do game, I game on a console, like an Xbox or an OnLive. Like, here, this is going to like really make some of you mad. I have OnLive, right? That's not what will make you mad, although it may make some people mad. I love OnLive. Like, it's a fantastic service. But I play from my computer, right? Or I actually play from my Galaxy Note as well. iPad can't do that, so that's one advantage Android tablets have. But I love I love OnLive on my Mac. But I don't ever use OnLive with a keyboard and mouse like you can do. I always use my USB little powered controller. I just grew up with a controller. That was what I always used. I had a Nintendo 64. Actually, yeah, I did. I had a Nintendo 64, and then I had a Sega Dreamcast, believe it or not. And then I had a PlayStation. And then, actually, no, we didn't have a PlayStation. I had a Sega Dreamcast, and then we jumped to a PlayStation 2. And then we got an Xbox 360 and a PS3. And I've never been on a PC because I grew up with console gaming. And there are advantages to both and disadvantages to both. I love the Apple. I don't know why this is coming back to Apple. I just love the Apple. I don't really even know how to say this. The completion and the polish that Apple puts on their stuff, because other people just don't have it. Johannes is saying, I quote, I love Android. He said it. I do. I love Android. It's a great operating system. But when it comes to desktop computing, Mac OS X is the only thing for me. I've tried Windows. I've tried Linux. I don't like it. It's not as intuitive. It's not as stable. And that's why I'm Mac all the way. Anyway. And I grew up with it. What kind of gaming do you prefer, console, PC, or handheld? I would say handheld, primarily because I don't really do the other two. And the games I play, some of you will like laugh. What's the game that came out today? Like the mobile version of an old Rockstar game. I bought it. It was like $2.99 or something. I haven't even opened it yet. Max Payne. Yeah. I bought it, but I'm not even sure I'm gonna like it. I like puzzle games. That's super nerdy. I feel like a grandma when I say that. But you know. Anyway. There you go. Quinn, where do you read all the tech-related articles? I can't find a decent website for tech. Well, here's the sad thing. I feel like most tech websites are going down the tubes. And I don't read any of them. Now you may say, well, Quinn, where do you get your news? I do read Techno Buffalo occasionally. I do read The Verge occasionally. But what I read is Loop Insight and Daring Fireball. And basically what those are is they're John Gruber and Jim Dimple. I freaking can't say his name. But Dimplemeyer. He's a Canadian. Whatever. But I read those blogs, and that's how I get my news. John Gruber or Jim will link an article, and that's how I get my stuff. And it's basically, and I use Flipboard too sometimes, and Instagram's the feature. So I don't really read one blog religiously. I just kind of read a bunch of different syndicate feeds, and I'll look at my Twitter feeds and click articles that interest me. But anyway. Canadian racist much? I can hate on Canadians because I am Canadian. Anyway. Let's see. I am a Canadian. I have dual citizenship. I am both an American and a Canadian. I'm proud to be a Canadian and an American as well too. All right. What kind of prescription glasses do you own? I don't really know what you're asking me. Are you asking me how blind I am? Because I'm blind. If you're asking me what brand they are, these are Sephora. Really, really nice glasses. I got them 2 days ago. I like them. This is the turtle shell. They were not cheap. They were $375 for the frame, but no, $280. I don't remember. I looked at so many frames, I don't even remember what I paid. But I like them. I like them because they're big, so they fill my face, and I like them because they cover my whole vision. Other glasses I've had in the past that are like little strips, and you're like, blind, not blind, blind, not blind. And then I'm like, oh, here we go. So they fill my whole head, and I look super hot. So that's what the ladies say anyway. I have contacts. I wear contacts. But in Bolivia, I probably won't wear contacts a ton because there's like diseases and stuff down there, and I'd rather not worry with eye problems. So I'll just wear I'll wear glasses like a nerd, and I'll be fine. So anyway, I love contacts. They're great, but when you get like nasty stuff in your eye and you're in a foreign country, it's not a good thing. So rather than deal with the trouble of contacts, I just decide to wear glasses. And I'm going on a mission. I'm not going to be working or dating or anything, so I don't need to worry about looking hot. Whatever, I'll look like a nerd. That's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to be... I don't care. So, yeah. Anyway. How blind am I? I'm blind. I'm not blind, but I have very bad vision. 3.5 in both eyes, which is just a couple points off from legally blind. Not legally blonde. I used to be legally blonde, and now I'm blind. So, I was very, very blonde. When I did my cinnamon challenge video, I'm assuming most of you saw that. Everyone was like, your brother bleaches his hair or what? No, that's his natural hair color, believe it or not. Like, that's how it's been his whole life. It's very, very blonde. Really cool hair color. He gets all the ladies because it looks sweet. But I had very, very blonde hair. It was not white like his is, but it was really, really blonde, like really blonde. And now it's brown, and I hate brown hair. I wish it was still blonde, but anyway, I'm not going to dye it because that is gay. No, I shouldn't say that. That is not my style. Gay and stuff. Oh my gosh. Dyeing stuff. Not dyeing stuff. I have lots of gay followers, and that's great. If you're gay, good on you. I'm all for that. I'm not homophobic. I am all for... but I don't dye my hair. Sorry. That's not my thing. But anyway. All right. But you're Mormon. I am Mormon. Doesn't matter. Anyway, am I going through Peace Corps or church? I'm going through church. Anyway. It's turning kind of into a BS session. Do you want to get back on topic, or do you just want to keep doing this? Anyway. Topic, people are saying. Get back on topic. You guys don't like casual chat? Oh, come on. All right. I don't like them. Even the best of the best from SGP and Power Support, I don't like them. They're weird. They're like a filter between you and your beautiful Retina display. They take the clarity and the contrast and all the great stuff about that Retina display away. If you're on a 3GS, fine, knock yourself out because that looks terrible anyway. But if you're on an iPhone 4 or a 4S, I can't see why you wouldn't go crystal clear. So anyway. Have you seen the Urbanears Plattan? Yes, I did a review on these quite a few months ago, and I do like them. They're a little overpriced. You can find better headphones for less, but I like them. I have an iPhone 3GS. Should I wait for the 5 or just buy the 4S? Well, it depends. It really just depends. Most people will say you should wait because it's true. There is an iPhone 5. I don't think they'll call it iPhone 5. They'll call it iPhone, just like they did with the iPad, the new iPad. It'll be the new iPhone. They got to drop the numerology because that thing's getting crazy. Like iPhone 6, iPhone 9800,432. No, it'll just be 6th gen iPhone or iPhone 2012 or whatever. But anyway, it is right around the corner. I don't think we're going to have to wait until October. The 4S came out in October, but I don't think we're going to wait a whole year because, as everyone knows, even though the 4S is still a great phone, it's quickly slipping in terms of specs and in terms of design. A lot of people are getting really sick, including myself. I'm really sick of the iPhone 4S design, especially since I didn't even really like it when it came out. But I fancy the new designs and the prototypes that are floating around. So I think that'll be really cool. There's a birthday party downstairs. Don't mind that. But yes, most people would say, wait. I say, if you want one, go for it. If you've waited this long, yeah, I'm sure the iPhone 5 will be great, but is it going to be exponentially better than the last iPhone? No, it'll probably just look different. So, just buy it. That's what I say. But I'm not very smart when it comes to money, so you probably shouldn't listen to me. Who are you? Your biggest nightmare, Hannah Darroch. Oh, Hannah. I wonder if she's still here. That was submitted 59 minutes ago. One should assume that she's not still here after all of this time. Oh, dear. All right, anyway. Is the Canon PowerShot ELPH 300HS a good video for making YouTube tech videos? Absolutely it is. It's a phenomenal camera considering it's what, like $110 now? It's really cheap. It might still be 150-ish, but it's very, very good. One thing I will say about the 300 is the audio quality is less than stellar. So I would consider getting an external microphone, be it a... What's the fancy pants one everyone uses? TLD today, Zoom H1. That's pretty cheap. That's like $70-80, and you can get really good audio quality and sound out of, that cheaper setup. You don't need to spend $1 bajillion like me to get a nice setup. I mean, my setup is ridiculous. I have 2 really nice lamps. I have a $1,300 camera, and I have a $900 microphone. But for $200, $300, you can get a really good video setup. And so long as you have nice lighting, then you're set and ready to go. So anyway, there you go. This microphone's not mine. I have to send it back. Oh boy, I wish I could keep it. I'm reviewing this tomorrow, so hang on, or wait around for that review because it's going to be a good one. So this is the Blue Microphone's mouse, an amazing microphone, and it's priced accordingly. So anyway, pew, gotta love it. What do you think about the Nokia Lumia 800? Okay. Are there people still outside of the United States in this here chat? People are like, you say Nokia? Yes, I do. Nokia. If you're from Finland or if you're from anywhere else, you can say Nokia. But I'm going to say Nokia. What do you think of the Nokia Lumia 800? I think it's a really interesting device. I think Windows Phone is a really good platform, but it's getting long in the tooth. Microsoft is just too far behind, and Topolsky from The Verge, as much as I dislike him, could not have said it any better. We need to stop giving Windows Phone a pass. For the last 2 years, we've been like, well, Windows Phone is a new platform. It's not new anymore. And it needs to be at the same quality that these other platforms are at, and it simply isn't. So while I think it's an interesting device, while I think it's a beautiful device, none of the Windows Phone cameras or displays, for that matter, are very good. They're all that same 640 by 480 resolution, which is not so good when you have a 5-inch phone like the Nokia 900, the new one, the Lumia 900. So anyway, and there's no apps for it, so that's a downside. Luis is asking me this in a snide manner, turd. He's like, I told you, you're going to get bored with the Vita. And yes, I'm bored with the Vita, but that's because there's no titles. I love the platform. I love the device. I love the hardware. It just sucks every other way. Oh, and the interface on the Vita is terrible. People are like, well, I kind of like it now. No, it sucks. X-Cross just destroys it. Just destroys it. Anyway. But John for Lakers is using a Windows phone. Yeah, I'm not saying Windows Phone is bad. I'm just saying it's not great. Same with Android. Android still has a lot of shortcomings. iOS, and John will tell you this too. John for Lakers is not going to say the Windows Phone is the best platform. He's not going to say Android's the best platform. When you ask him what the best phone is, he's going to say the iPhone, even though he doesn't use one. And I'm the same. I use the Galaxy Note. I love the heck out of this thing. But what's the best iPhone? Or what's the best phone? It's the iPhone. And it's not just because it's easy to use. It's not just because it's been out the longest. It's because it's good. Anyway, that's enough ranting. Okie doke. Oh dear. I clicked the wrong button. Will the Roku P be able to fully run the Audio-Technica AT-HM50? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes. Is buying the new iPad a worthy purchase? Is it an upgrade from an iPad 2? I would say no, unless you're looking for two specific things. One is LTE. If you want LTE, it's a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade. If you want a Retina display, it's a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade. But if you're upgrading for the GPU or it's not any better. And in fact, the iPad 3 is inferior to the iPad 2 in a couple of different ways. Even though the GPU is faster, it still has the same CPU speed. And if you've noticed, opening and closing applications on the iPad 3 is slower than that on the iPad 2. Interesting little known fact. But anyway, yes, I mean, it's a beautiful device. It's because the CPU is the same size and it's running 4 times as many pixels. But anyway, I love my new iPad. I think it's far better than the iPad 2. And if you have an iPad 2 and you're super happy with it, that's great. But just like the iPhone, you're going to try one of these out. And once you see this Retina display, you're like, okay, the iPad 2 in the trash. Like, it's terrible. My dad has an iPad 2 and he reads on it. I can't even look at the thing for more than 5 seconds. I'm like, oh, this looks terrible. So anyway, if you don't care about what you don't got, it don't matter until you see it, and then you're going to want it. So. Oh man, so many questions. What are your predictions on the new iMacs? They're the same as on the new MacBooks. I think they are a couple months out still because Ivy Bridge, which is the new generation of Intel processors, is still having delay problems. It was supposed to come out in March, and then it was supposed to come out in late May. Now it's supposed to come out in June to July. So Intel's having some serious problems making this processor. And I can tell you right now, Apple is not going to release new computers until those Ivy Bridge processors are out, because that's what's going to make the iMacs and MacBooks alike so much better. Ivy Bridge runs a lot, allegedly, it's not even working right now, but allegedly it runs a lot cooler than the Sandy Bridge, which runs so freaking hot. When I'm encoding a video on this MacBook Pro, you literally could cook like a steak on this thing. I'm not even kidding. It is so hot. So hot. It'll burn your legs if you put it on your legs. I'm not even kidding you. It is so hot. Hot, hot, hot. Anyway, iFurnace. I did make a joke about that. I said, the new product for 2012 from Apple is going to be the iFurnace. It's going to be a rebranded MacBook Pro with a Sandy Bridge processor. Because it is. It gets so hot. But that's one problem with Ivy, or that's one solution for Ivy Bridge. And the other solution is not the clock speed, but the battery life. Sandy Bridge is a power whore. My MacBook Pro will die in a couple hours just from doing normal stuff, web browsing, email. It's terrible. And the Sandy Bridge processor is supposed to alleviate this problem. So, or excuse me, the Ivy Bridge processor. So hopefully that's on the way. But we're not going to see any new iMacs or MacBooks until those processors are readily available. Why do I prefer iOS over Android? It's simple, it's secure, it's basic, it's powerful. At the same time, oxymoronic, but it's true. There's a bigger app database. It's more stable. It's faster. It has higher support. It's easier to use. It's more stable. Oh man, I probably repeated some things, but it does need to get revamped. I am saying right now that it's getting really boring. I'm like, ugh. But Anywho. Ah, we're getting tired here. Do you like Ron Paul? April Fool's is over, so I can't say yes. These are all garbage questions. All garbage questions. Answered that, answered that, answered that. You know, have any USB audio interfaces that can do multi-track? Yeah, there's a few. There are definitely a few. But you're limited by that USB because there's only so much bandwidth that a USB cable can carry. If you look at most of the better mixers, like the Running Man stuff, like a couple of other mixers out there that can carry multi-track, they're all Firewire. And USB can only carry 1 or 2 channels. But Firewire can carry like up to 8. So, you have some advantages there. Yeah, that was my mom. I don't think she knew I was live streaming. She came in and was like, ugh. Have you seen Pebble on Kickstarter? It looks really neat. Yeah, Pebble's sweet. This is the Apple Watch that Apple never made. These guys, I don't know what are they up to in funding now? Yeah, my mom. I'm 18. I still live with my mom. Weird, huh? Not? $2.1 million. Oh my golly. That is in like 48 hours. What did they want? They wanted like $500,000 or something like that? Huh. Wow. That's some good funding. That's Kickstarter at work right there. But anyway, yeah, that Pebble e-paper watch is awesome. I mean, you hook it up to your smartphone, and it's like, this is who's calling. These are your emails. These are your notifications. And it works for Android and for iPhone, and it's going to be amazing. And it's only like $100, so that's pretty sweet. They only wanted $100K. Yeah, with $3.3 million into the project, I can pretty much promise you you're not going to be getting your Pebble watch anytime soon. I think they got a little bit more funding than they anticipated. But anyway. What is your favorite headphone at the moment? That's a good question. At the moment, it's probably the Beyerdynamic DT990. But that's a real toss-up because you can't have a favorite. I have a favorite for each genre. I still love my HD650 like nobody's business. And I'll probably review those soon here. But anyway. Okay. We will do another giveaway here. Hold on. What browser do you use? Some of you are going to giggle at me, and I would have a year ago, but it's Firefox 10. I know you're like, Firefox, come on, use Chrome, use all the other, use Chrome, Rock Melt and Feather. Shut up. No, I use Firefox. Here is why. Chrome is getting worse and worse with every update. I feel like it's getting terrible. And I upgraded to a beta version. It was terribly unstable. It crashed all the time. And so that was bad. I don't like Safari. It's not as fast. And so I tried Firefox. And I was like, all right, let's try this Firefox 10 out. I tried Firefox 9 and I was like, this is not for me. This is slow. This is bulky. This is bad. I upgraded to Firefox 10, which came out like a month or maybe a month and a half ago. It is just as fast as Safari, just as fast as Chrome. It has all of the extension support that Firefox has always had. It's free and it never crashes. And so I love it. It's fantastic. And that's what I'm using right now. Internet Explorer. Actually, IE10 is a really good browser. People still knock on Internet Explorer, and it's no doubt that they do some weird things, but IE10 is really, really good. And if they made it for Mac, I'd probably use it. But anyway. Okie doke. Beep, 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 beep. I don't like Chrome anymore. Plus, it's owned by Google. Okay. I would get the Transformer because Chromebooks are kind of terrible. I made a video about this a year and a half ago saying all the reasons it's not going to be successful on the market. And even to this day, I still feel like it's true. I have a question. Do you not like Michael Jackson? I'm not sure it's possible to not like Michael Jackson. Yes, I like Michael Jackson. I have both Thriller and Bad on vinyl right here. They're amazing. And if you're like, I don't like Michael Jackson, it's because you don't have a soul. Or because you want to look cool. Everyone likes Michael Jackson. Come on. That's like saying you don't like candy. And if you don't like candy, go eat some carrots, you weirdo. All right, anyway. Let's see. I'm a hipster, of course I don't like them. Oh dear. Okay, let's scroll down. I'm going to scroll all the way down because I'm seeing repeat questions, and hopefully questions that were asked recently will be more relevant. This is a great question. What watch are you wearing? This is by Zenik. It's a really good looking watch. And it's actually a kid I know. Zach Park. He's a really smart guy. Goes to my same school. And so, yeah, I'm going to be doing a review on it. It's a pretty nice looking watch. They're really quite cheap. I think they're $27 with free shipping. So it looks snazzy. It's a nice watch. I like it. It comes in a bunch of different colors: white, silver, black, red. Anyway, it's pretty sweet. You can find them at zeniick.com. And once I do the review, Zach is going to give a few to give away. So that's pretty sweet. And so there you go. Oh dear. My back hurts. How often do you stutter when you make videos? That question's not pulling up. Not often, although I don't know. I don't watch my videos. You guys do. I mess up every once in a while. But rather than cut it out, oh man, there are so many YouTube reviewers that have like constant nauseating cuts. They're like, hey, today I'm reviewing the Bose for it. And it's like, what the heck? You're like moving all over the place, and what is going on here? So I just take a single take. I do mess up and I leave it. And you know, I feel like the problems that I have in my videos are less substantial than many other people, so I just leave it be. But anyway, I had a really hard time saying, it was in the dual tech review. I don't know if any of you guys watched the first part, if you just jumped to the drop test. But when I was trying to say fingers, I was like fingers. It was embarrassing. But I was like, heck, I'm already almost done with this video. I'm not going to restart this. So I struggled with that. Who would have known fingers was so hard to say? But it was. Oh man, this question is like disappeared. Oh dear. I can't find this question. Oh, there it is. Oh, found it. I have to drop it. Where do you think Apple is going without Steve Jobs? You know, I think that they are going places, and big places. People are like, now that Steve Jobs is gone, Apple is ruined. And that could not be more incorrect. In fact, I think Apple is going to be more successful without Steve Jobs. Steve was stubborn. Steve was not willing to work with other people in a manner that was efficient, economical, and consistent. I'm not saying he wasn't a brilliant man, because he was a brilliant man, and he single-handedly changed the way we do everything. Well, not everything, but many things. But I am saying that he had problems, not just mentally, but socially and physically. He was very hell-bent on making sure everything went his way. He did a lot of drugs when he was a kid, but that's aside the point. More recently, I think he was honestly an unhappy man. I don't think that he was happy, and I think that he was so driven to try and find happiness. And I'm not going to try and like analyze this man's life, because he was obviously a very complex man, but I think he was a very unhappy person. And so under this new management with Tim Cook is a brilliant guy. And yeah, he sucks at speaking. He is not quite as charming as Steve Jobs. He doesn't have that signature turtleneck and treads that Steve did. But I think that as a CEO, he's going to be a lot more progressive, a lot more productive, a lot more stern, and generally a better CEO than Steve ever was. And I'm not trying to underplay Steve. He totally changed the game. He saved Apple from bankruptcy twice. But I am saying that I don't think he's this godlike figure that everyone makes him out to be. He was a dude, and he made tons of mistakes. And I think that Tim Cook is going to be a really amazing CEO. And I think the start of Apple's fame and success is only the beginning. So, anyway. Okay. Repeat questions, da 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 da, repeat questions, ba-da-da. What program do you use to record your screen in HD? ScreenFlow. It's by the beautiful people at, oh, help me out here. How did I just forget this? Oh dear. Oh dear. Telestream, that's right. It's a $99 piece of software, which is a little bit steep, but the capability behind this is amazing. You can use ScreenFlow as a full-fledged video editor. It doesn't need to just be for screen flowing or screen capturing. I know YouTubers that edit in ScreenFlow. Soldier Knows Best edits all of his videos in ScreenFlow. So it's a very, very powerful program for $99, and there's a lot of value in it. And it's a fantastic program. I love it. I've loved it from day one. There are other applications out there that do similar things, but they're not as good. Not even as close. So, anyway, people are telling me TimeOS edits in ScreenFlow. It's a very powerful program. I don't like Camtasia. Tried it, didn't like it. I didn't like iShow UHD. Tried it, didn't like it. ScreenFlow is simply the best when it comes to screen capturing. And that is the end of that. Okay. What's your opinion of Minecraft? I can respect it and appreciate it, but I personally find it very boring. I don't like it. It's boring to me. But again, I'm not a gamer. I'm not one of those big game guys. So if you like it, that's great. Like, that's really cool. I just don't appreciate it. And I think the developer behind it is brilliant. And I think this what's the new game that's coming out? Like 0xC110, whatever. Like where they get thrown into a time machine. I don't know. But Notch is a really interesting guy. CX10C. Yeah. 0, whatever. That's beside the point. It looks like a cool game. But I just don't like that kind of game style. So, anyway. Although I will say, I kind of geeked out when What's-His-Bucket built the actual calculator. Not just like a regular calculator, but a graphing calculator in Minecraft. And it was a mechanical calculator. Like, you jump on a button, and it would drop all these blocks in Minecraft. Oh, man, it was amazing. I just was like, I was freaking out. Okay, for those of you on YouTube, I mean, you guys are done watching this. This is like really... it's just getting terrible now. So we're going to choose the winners, and, well, you're not going to win, YouTube people, because you missed the live stream. I still love you, but you're not going to win. So thanks for watching, for those of you on YouTube. Please subscribe, rate, comment, for those of you on YouTube. And for those of you on YouTube, and people in the chat, because they're spamming, they're jackals. Stay snazzy. See you later, folks.